Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the DC Super Friends figure pack from the Imaginext DC Super Friends line. So I gotta admit that's probably the most generic, boring name for a pack that I've heard in quite some time, but the assortment of figures is actually pretty nice. You get a Batman, a Captain Cold, a new version of Cyborg that has kind of a gun arm, a version of Scarecrow, and then Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle is the one that I'm kind of most excited about just because he doesn't show up a lot. I think he was also available in a large pack that came with Grundy that's kind of sought after now. And also I think he had a pack where he came with the vehicle that's also pretty rare. So I was very excited to get Blue Beetle. This pack is fairly reasonable. I think normally it is $20 normal retail, but I found this on Amazon for $17, I think. I saw it once at a a Tuesday morning for $12 or $13, which I thought was a pretty good deal, but for some reason I didn't pick it up then. I don't know why. And then as soon as I changed my mind, I was like, that was dumb. I should have went back, and it was gone. So snooze, you lose. But I did find it for a decent price on Amazon, so I decided to pick it up. Taking a look at the back, just kind of shows you the 5 figures here. It says, who will stop Scarecrow and Captain Cold? Batman will, and he has help from 2 of his Justice League friends, Cyborg and Blue Beetle. When his team gets together, kids can imagine all kinds of new crime-fighting adventures. And then it kind of has this generic group shot that they use for pretty much everything at this point. I still need to find a Hall of Doom. I would really like to find a Hall of Doom. But everything else is pretty cool. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the packaging. I'm going to go ahead and get these guys out of there so we can take a closer look. So here are the 5 figures out of the packaging. I'm going to start over here with Captain Cold because we've seen him before. As far as I can tell, it is the same as the Captain Cold that comes with this giant snowball launcher. You can see there that the figures are pretty much identical. He has this kind of top piece, the hood that comes off. And then he's got, I love the glasses. They remind me of like Krang from Ninja Turtles. I think that's really fun. He's got standard articulation, bend at the waist, arms, shoulders, wrist movement. And then he's got this piece which just slides right over top. And then you can unclip the gun from the back. And then you can bring it around and clip it into his hand. And he's ready to fire his cold gun, which looks really cool. I think they did a good job with that. I like how it has the holster here on the back. It makes him a little top heavy, but it's not too bad. As long as you can get, you can see mine, the 1 foot over here is a little messed up to the side. I could probably do some boiling water or something to loosen him up, but he just kind of looks like he's dancing off to the side. Next up is the Scarecrow. I think they did a pretty good job with the design here. He's got that noose around his neck. At least I think that's what it is. And then he's got the kind of burlap sack. He's got this hard plastic cape on the back. Otherwise, his articulation is pretty standard. The neck does not move, though. No head movement. I wish he came with a scythe. He usually comes with a scythe. But otherwise, pretty cool representation of Scarecrow. Over here for the heroes, we have Batman. A little different than the typical Batman. You can see he's got the brown belt with his pouches, which I think looks pretty good. His cape is definitely, it feels like smaller than usual because he has all this piece here is plastic, and then the cape is kind of built into that. But otherwise, he's got standard articulation. Head can move from side to side, shoulder, wrist, waist articulation. I think it looks pretty good, though. The head's a little too long. I don't know. He's got some serious 5 head going on there. Other than that, I think he looks pretty good. Next up, we have this version of Cyborg with the gun arm. Kind of reminds me of Mega Man. But he looks good. I think they did a great job with him. The silver paint's very sharp. I love his color scheme. The red for the eye, very nicely done. And he's got standard articulation as well. Except there's no articulation in the gun arm. Except for the shoulder. But nothing in the wrist, which makes sense. But yeah, really cool. I like it a lot. And then we have Blue Beetle. I love Blue Beetle. I think they did a great job with the color scheme and the paint job. I just wish he had that beetle on his back. I just think if they could have put a piece on his back, it would have just made him look a little bit better. He needs those little the little like pincers that come up behind him. Otherwise, he just looks a little off. But for the most part, I definitely like him. They did a great job painting his face. I think they did a really great job with that. And I love that smirk he's got. Really cool. So definitely an awesome minifigure. I just wish he had those little pincers on his back just to kind of round out his design. But overall, it's a really cool pack. I love all 5 of these figures. If you don't have a lot of these figures, I definitely think it's an excellent pack to pick up. If you already have most of them, then you probably don't need it. But it's a nice way to get Blue Beetle and Cyborg if you don't already have versions of those characters, which I did not. And even if you have the regular Cyborg, the version with the gun arm looks really neat. So it's kind of fun to have a variant like that. I think Scarecrow is pretty good too. These are the 2 that I'm probably the least excited about just because I've gotten them in other sets. I mean, there's a million different Batman figures, so I feel like they didn't really need to include Batman here. I would have loved if his spot would have been taken by someone a little bit more out of the ordinary. I can't think of anyone offhand, but maybe there's a million different DC superheroes that are just a little bit more fringe than Batman, obviously. Plus, like I said, his head's just a little too tall. Just a little too tall. But Captain Cold's cool if you don't already have him, and all the others are excellent as well. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching.